Good afternoon to you all. Today I'm going to take up a very controversial theme. Year after year, every political party, every government promises the moon to youngsters. They lead the youth up the garden path. They pretend that the government can employ a large number of young people. They talk about all kinds of stuff, mega recruitment, job calendar, and many other things. I'm not opposed to you guys joining the government. We require the finest brains with the spirit of public service to join the government. But my plea to you all is, please do not make it your life's mission. Because out of 100 people or 300 people who appear, only one gets selected. Lakhs of youngsters are giving up years of their life, 5 years, 10 years, because they keep on increasing the qualifying age so that the hope can be there in everybody. But statistically, you're all students of mathematics. Statistically, only 1 out of 100, 200, 300 can get in. What happens to the rest? So this plea is to make you look at this much more sensitively, intelligently, in pursuit of your own lives and a better country. Let me take you through a few slides. Thomas Paine said, "Government is but a necessary evil. In its worst state, it's an intolerable one." So don't think government is the answer to our problems. We need the government to fulfill our collective needs, to enhance our capacity through quality education, which our kids are not getting in the most part, healthcare. They must do things that enable growth so that wealth is created and therefore jobs are created. But government does not create individual prosperity. You create prosperity. Your families create prosperity, your hard work, your innovation, your sense of purpose, your thrift. That is what really makes you come out of hardship, not the government. Don't be under the illusion. Now, take the central civil services. About 10 lakh kids apply. About 6 lakh kids take the exam. How many get selected? About 1,000. If you're talking about the IAS, about 100. You do the math. And for that, in the dream, if lakhs of people give up 5, 10 years of their life, those who are selected, they're thinking that they're the God's gift to humanity. Many of them are not performing as well as they should. You all know, I know. And those who are not selected, they're in despair. They lost years of their life. They lost self-esteem. They don't know what to do. So make an effort if you're really serious about public service, but don't think that's the only thing in life. And if you don't make it, those who make it are not great. Those who do not make it are not in any way inferior. I want you to understand that. In the past 8 years, out of the 22 crore people who applied for government jobs in the country, only 7.2 lakh people, about 1 lakh per year, got selected in the country. It's 1 out of 300. 1 out of 300. What happens to the balance 299? Please think about it. Government jobs can at most absorb only 1% of the people coming into job market, because every year about 1 crore 20 lakh young people are coming into job market. Don't expect too much. Why is there so much of demand for government jobs, so much of hunger, colonial hangover? The sense that if you're in government job, you are a big sahib. The people are mendicants. The Mai-Bap culture, as we call it. Feudal notions of power. In a sensible society, power is for service. It's a responsibility. In a feudal society, power is about domination and control. License, permit, Raj, the notion that everything will be decided by the government, the patronage on account of that. No accountability. Nobody bothers whether you worked or not, whether you're taking bribes or not, you're efficient or not. And your life is assured, or so is the belief. high wages relative to the market. Typically, double the wages are paid for the same work in government as in private sector, but without any outcomes. In some jobs, it can be even 3 times. Who is paying that? Not the chief minister, not the prime minister. You and I are paying from our tax money. We have to demand to get something in return. So public money is going from the individuals, it's going from the companies. Why? Because the government is expected to fulfill our collective needs. Please remember, collective needs. Individual needs, your life is your own. All the choices you make, all the decisions you make, all the effort you make are entirely yours. Where you study, what you study, where you live, how you spend the money, which kind of profession you pursue, what kind of business you do, whom you marry. It's all your life, 85% of life. There are 15 or 10 things in life which are necessary for us, but they cannot be handled by us individually. That's what the government is about. For the collective needs, how do you build the roads and infrastructure? Quality school education at the very least. Quality healthcare accessible to everybody. Rule of law and order. You see the traffic chaos in this country? You all travel every day, most of you, from Hyderabad, various parts of Hyderabad to this college. I'm told it takes an hour and a half to 2 to come one way. Much of it is unnecessary if there is proper traffic management. I can go on and on. So the government is there to fulfill your collective needs. They're not doing a good job, but they're spending enormous money and showing you, leading you up the garden path, giving you an illusion that government is the solution to employment problem. Now, in the process, as I said before, years of potential of bright young people is wasted. Their morale is undermined. Self-esteem is seriously wounded. Those who get selected, they think that they're really great, and very few of them are actually serving the people well. Those who don't get selected very often have lost very precious years of their life. Jobs are created by fulfilling the people's needs. Please, if there's nothing else to carry from this particular talk, get this into your mind and think about it. Jobs are created by fulfilling the collective needs of society, individual needs and collective needs, by production of goods and services. By your working, the society's needs are fulfilled, and in return, you get a job and a wage and employment. There cannot be employment independent of meeting the needs of society. You have to produce goods and services. Somehow in India, we're under the illusion that government somehow creates a job, gives a job, God knows where they pay from, and God knows what they do, and that's the answer to a problem. Impossible. As I told you, look at the other countries, look at India. USA, if the private sector is paying 100 rupees, the government pays 104. UK, if private sector 100, government pays 74. Japan, 113 for 100 rupees in private sector. Germany, 89 rupees. Singapore, 83. China, 104. So on par with the private sector. India, 181 rupees. If private sector is paying for the same work 100 rupees, India pays 181 rupees. For some jobs, it pays 250 rupees. And they don't do it well in most cases. Private sector, they don't do the job well, then the society will punish them because you won't buy their goods and services. Now, 3%, India has 540 million or 54 crore workers, people of working age, workers in the job market. Only about 1.8 crore, the total number of workers in governments in the states, the union, public sector undertakings. Just about 3% or more, a little over 3%. 97% are feeding them from our tax money, from our borrowed money. And each pay commission is increasing the salaries dramatically, unrelated to market because of the collective bargaining power at the cost of the rest of the country. In the process, the dignity of labor is now increasingly shrinking. Any other country, a plumber is as important as somebody else. Just think, do a thought experiment. Supposing your district magistrate, your collector, or your municipal commissioner is absent for a week from work. How many of you feel that absence? You feel, my God, my life is now over. I can't really survive. My collector Saab is not in his office. Not one of us thinks twice about it. But supposing your bathroom plumbing is choked, it is stinking. The plumber is not available and your efforts to try and clean it up did not work. Can you survive for one day? Just think, who is important really in our life? The plumber who actually makes our lives better, or some sahib somewhere whose presence or absence does not make any difference? Let's get back to reality. Let's give dignity of labor to our people. Whoever brings a valuable service or produces a useful goods, they are valuable to society, not the position they occupy, the power they exercise, or the public money they spend. Take the rich countries, OECD. A plumber, he gets a decent income, has a dignified life. The impact is, government or private, you are delivering goods and services. You are serving the society's needs. Economic growth, quality of life, and human dignity are possible. If you take government job as a source of patronage and privilege, and if we insult the actual workers who are making a difference in our lives, we get bad services, we get unemployment, we get poverty. What do we therefore have to do? Let me come to the concluding portion. The problem is the government has spectacularly failed in ensuring that every kid comes out of school or college with decent skills. Look at South Korea. 96% come out of schools with good quality skills. Look at Germany. These are all school level, vocational education. Germany, 75% come out with very useful hands-on skills, apprenticeship, etc. US, 52%. India, less than 5%. Often you see an engineer in mechanical engineering graduating, and then the parents say, look, the scooter is malfunctioning, or the car, there's a problem. Will you just check? Let's be honest. What does this young engineer do? Often he takes the car to an illiterate mechanic. Because he has skills, our engineer has none. The country has to focus on usable skills, useful skills, employable skills, and then put them to work. So what are the priorities now in terms of service delivery from the government? Efficient infrastructure, better quality healthcare, and at least school education, and ensuring quality higher education. Your college is a matter of pride to all of you. Your students told me even if it takes an hour and a half to commute, it's a good college, therefore we're coming here. But tell me, how many engineering colleges really are good? How many of them are serving our needs, or any other college for that matter? So the quality of healthcare and education, transparent and efficient bureaucracy, treating everybody as equal and delivering quickly and economically, and reducing regulatory barriers for business. There is a service delivery crisis in India, what the government should be delivering. I'll show you a very heart-rending table. I've simply taken 50 largest economies in the country, roughly about $200 billion and above GDP. I put all the standard global indicators for all these 50 or so countries and then ranked them. In the first 25, 26 on page 1, India does not stand anywhere, not one. Where does India stand? Look at those dark green items. That's where India is. 50th, last 10 ranks, most of them last 5 ranks. We are in the company of Nigeria, Bangladesh, Pakistan. We deserve more. We can do better. Do we want to be part of only this government thing that's the only employment? This mania for government and governmental power is destroying our country. Government is necessary. I worked in government with pride and dignity. I hope with some efficiency. I'm not saying government is unnecessary, but I'm saying putting all your faith in government Thinking that government can provide you employment is a disaster for the country and for the young people. So government must limit its functions, core functions, and do that well. Education must be transformed to improve the outcomes and skills. Labor market reforms to generate employment, not to prevent employment. Tax reform to make it easy to do business, not difficult. And small town development so that a lot of low-skilled people, low-wage people can get employed and get secure wage. And urbanization happens in a sensible manner instead of Hyderabad urbanization and the traffic snarls. We all know what's happening. We require a cultural shift. We require wealth creators. We require respect for all kinds of work that is productive and useful. And we require to focus on competence, not job security. Let me end with this one quote of Thomas Sowell. Even if the government creates 1 million jobs, it's an illusion because there's no increase in the jobs. They have taken money from your pockets and my pockets, from the true wealth creators of the country, and from the companies, and from the enterprises. And they are paying for very indifferent services. In the process, government appears to be creating jobs. In reality, we lost millions of jobs in the market. Because jobs are created, let me end by saying again, by creation of goods and services that are necessary for those around us by all of us. There is no other secret to job creation. If you want to join government, if you are passionate about public good, please make an effort, but make it your life's only mission. Don't squander years and years. The real work is in the market. Real innovation is in the market. Real future is in making the markets work, making creativity grow, and enhancing the productivity and production of goods and services to meet the needs of all our people, lifting people above poverty and promoting prosperity. Think about it. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.